In the heart of nature, we find our true strength, a connection to our roots, to the land, to each other. Introducing Rootwork deodorant, infused with the potent power of High John the Conqueror root. Embrace the natural strength and resilience passed down through generations. Feel the purity of natural ingredients, harmonizing with your body and spirit. Rootwork deodorant, bringing you in tune with nature and with yourself. Rootwork deodorant. Connect, empower, thrive. Available now at rootworkstyle.com.
And we are live. What's going on, y'all? We start recording. Make sure everything is good. We're in the building. What's going on, guys? You guys good? We are tapping in. We are tapping in. We're tapping in. Everybody, give me a retweet. Let everybody know that we're live right now. Everybody, give me a nice retweet to the broadcast. Let everybody know that we're live right now, ready to chop it up and do our thing on the late night tap in. Glad you guys are tuning in. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Shout out to the family. Well, my dogs are jumping on me. Hold on. But a lot of stuff we're going to hit on tonight. Let me shout out to some of the regulars that's in the room. What's up, Sir Major in the building? Adonis is in the building. A lot of the regulars in here. I see you. I see you. We're going to get calls. Wayne is in the building. Shout out to Wayne. We're going to tap in with some of the calls in a minute. Just wanted to touch up on some things a lot of folks are talking about. A lot of people are talking about the Uncle Luke crash out that he had. When did he do the crash out? Was it, what's the damn day today? Was it yesterday? Yeah, well, I think it was yesterday. He did a Twitter space. So, yeah, Uncle Luke wanted to get some clout and did a Twitter space with me in the title. And he was trying to bait me to go into the room, which I wasn't going to go. He was just desperately trying to bait me to go in there. And, he had to use my title, my name for clout. And I didn't listen to it. I heard little snippets people were kind of posting up. People were going in there hoping that I was going to go in there, which I wasn't, but people were getting on his bumper. And he started crashing out because of all the support that I got. He didn't expect me and the family to get so much support. So that made him really doubly crash out, because I think with Luke, he kind of listens to some of the musty little Tether trolls that lurk around. And it's not that, there's only like a handful of them that be on these spaces with all of their multiple accounts. See, that's the thing with Luke. I think he underestimated. He thought that there were enough anti-Tariq haters out here that was going to level amount of support for him. He thought that he had an army of Tariq haters, and it's really about 4 or 5 Tethers who got about 30 or 45 different accounts that they all troll from. So he didn't get the support he thought he was going to get. So from what I understand, a lot of people were in there supporting me, and he was getting clowned, and he was really crashing out. He was having a hissy fit. Some people said he sounded like he was drunk. From my understanding, Riza Islam went in there because Luke keeps trying to compare himself to Minister Farrakhan and all this stuff, and he keeps just saying just a bunch of tether babble, bringing up Farrakhan and Malcolm X. So Riza, from what I understand, hopped in and said, "Hey man, let me talk to you about Farrakhan. You bringing Farrakhan into this," and then I think Luke crashed out on him. So it's Luke really embarrassed himself, and this is why I didn't go in there, because I knew he was going to crash out. Luke, he don't have no talent, and he's not an interesting person. Luke's whole thing is just latching on to people who are interesting, people who have talent. You got to understand the tether mindset. See, this is the thing. This is how you got to learn how to deal with tethers. You got to let tethers crash out on their own. See, that's what tethers are so afraid of. Tethers know, many of the tethers, they don't have no talent. They're not that very interesting. Nobody's really checking for them. So they have to bait us and keep us around. They need us to go in their spaces. They need us to be the topic of discussion. So he needed me in the space. I knew he did. Because see, if I went in that space, just me being in there, that would have saved that space. That would have saved him from embarrassing himself. Just my presence being in there, which I wasn't going to give him that alley oop. So you got to know how to play chess with these tethers. He thought he was going to bait me in the room. No, I didn't go in. And because he's not an interesting or articulate person, he had the floor to himself. See, he couldn't get in there and just lie. See, what they want to do, they want to get us in these rooms so they can just lie and troll and just put us on the defensive with all of their lying and trolling. They don't have anything interesting. They want to get us in these little troll spaces so they can just throw lies at us back to back, and then we have to keep defending their dumbass lies. When we don't show up, and then you try to clout chase with us in the title or be in the title, and we ain't in there, now people have to listen to your mush mouth, no talking, inarticulate ass, and then you crash out because ain't nobody feeling what you have to say. This is how you punish tethers. Leave them alone. Leave them to their own volition. Leave them by themselves. Leave them somewhere where they have to fend for themselves and speak for themselves. They're always going to crash out. You understand? That's why tethers are so hell bent on being latched on and attached to us. When we delineate, it's a wrap for them. And Luther Campbell's is a king tether. This dude has been tethering off people his whole career. Luther Campbell can't rap. He's not an artist, not a producer. And that whole sound came from California. That was Mr. Mix who created that sound. You dig? He was latching on and tethering on to us all along. You see? And a lot of the tethers have that mindset. So when we delineate, that's when they get all huffy and puffy and upset. They need us to tether to, family. Now, again, when they do something constructive and they get a win, they make sure to delineate from us. They make sure that it's a win for their island or their African nation. They go out of their way. But every other day, it's all about them latching on to us. That's what tethers do. And this again, and Luke playing dumb about what a tether is. He's playing dumb. He's dumb, but he's even playing more dumb. People know when we talk about what a tether is, they know what we mean. We're not talking about all foreigners. We're not talking about them. We're just talking about the little janky ones that try to undermine us. They know that. They know that. They like to play dumb, and then they try to bait us into these places so they can continue to play dumb and then leech off of the engagement that we give them. See, what Luke was trying to do, he was trying to clout chase. Nobody's really trying to listen to Luke unless he has somebody interesting there with him to bounce off dialogue. Nobody's trying to listen to some mush mouth tether who can barely articulate a sentence. The TV show On Living Color was clowning Luke back in the day, clowning how inarticulate he is. Yeah. So yeah, leaving the tethers alone to fend for themselves and defend themselves, they always gonna crash out. You see? And there is no shame in delineating. All of that, we're being divisive. The fact that we're just acknowledging our lineage, why is that only divisive with us? It's not our job to sit up here and just be the one big Negro ideology, like everybody comes around us and we can all share the same ethnicity whenever they pick and choose. It doesn't work like that. Everybody's allowed to claim their ethnic group except us, and those days are over. We are a distinct ethnic group. We are a unique ethnic group. Our brother Claude Anderson has been preaching this for 40 years. You understand? Claude Anderson for 40 years has been talking about how Native Black Americans, and that's the term he used, Native Black Americans are exceptional people. 100% true. And speaking of the designation, I heard Strappy tried to get in the Luke room. Strappy's trying to get some clout. Strappy and Tone Tits, but yeah, Strappy went in there trying to get some clout, and I heard she got clowned. She was trying to get clout, and she ended up getting clowned. I don't know all the ins and outs, but Strappy is still trying to get clout from me because I've abandoned them and thrown them to the curb. And I know Strappy's probably listening under her Finster account. Strappy, you need to stop. You're not getting no more clout out of me. The little notoriety you got was because of me, and I took it right back because you were disrespectful. So I elevated you and then de-elevated you because you tried to get clout off me. All right, with your little old musty chopper suit wearing ass. Um, but yeah, everybody was it was a clout chase, and it just backfired. The clout chasing backfired on everybody. Strappy tried to get some clout that backfired. Luke was trying to get clout that backfired. Luke is getting clowned all over the internet. My dude Gooch and those guys, they're doing a live broadcast now. I think, well, they were doing it earlier where they were clowning Luke. Luke is getting clowned left and right. Really embarrassed himself because his trying to bait me to come in that room, it just didn't work. It backfired on him. You see, that's how we learn how to deal with tethers like that by dealing with the tethers on these Twitter spaces. Remember a couple of years ago, they would always try to bait us to go into their rooms, and sometimes we would go in their rooms, but I noticed their rooms would only get hot if we went in there. That's the only times the tether spaces would get hot if we went in there. I said, wait a minute, I'm not going to give these people no clout. Let me starve them out. So that's what I started doing. Just stop going in their spaces. Because basically, all you do, you go in there, they're mute, and just start yelling a bunch of tether babble. You dig? And just whining and crying. They ain't really saying nothing. And just getting views off of it. So we do, just stop going in there. When we stop going in there, all of their viewership falls off because nobody wants to hear no musty babbling tether. You understand? When we are not in their rooms, their numbers fall off. Nobody's trying to hear them. Nobody's trying to hear no fleeing musty tether. You know, because they ain't got nothing interesting to say. You know? And again, I'm not. And with Luke, Luke fell off so bad, and Luke has been getting clowned so bad. I almost feel bad for him. I don't think Luke is used to kind of poking at people and starting beefs, and I don't think he knew exactly who he was dealing with me. Yeah, I don't think he realized I'm a different beast with this thing. I don't think Luke realized. I think Luke thought this was gonna like be like a little rap battle or whatever, and you take shots, and dude, it went real left for this dude, and this is lightweight. I lightweight got on his ass, and he's crashed all the way out and got embarrassed. Luke don't know who he's dealing with. How creative I am with this stuff. And Luke is such a damn easy target. My God. That's why I almost feel bad. I'm like, Luke, man, just let it go, man. Dude, I'm already looking for lizard puppets. Dude, don't let me get a lizard puppet. Please. Don't make me get a lizard puppet, Luke. You too easy, brother. You're way too easy to roast. There's so many things to go in on you about. I can do a whole year just with the lizard mouth. That right there. You dig? Dude, I got access to AI, cartoons. Just it's too easy. It's too I don't want to do the man like that. It's too easy. Yeah. Just too damn easy. But look, I don't have a problem with Luke, but just Luke, stay in your lane. Sound like the DNC gave him some instructions to kind of come after me. And like I told people, the DNC, they've been sending people at me, and they're going to do more of it. I told people that was going to happen. They were going to start sending people at me to try to discredit me because of the influence I have. So, I'm used to that. I ain't tripping on that. And people see it for what it is. People know that we got a lot of Democratic shills running around here. People know that. And it is what it is. Let me get my brother Sir Major in the building. Sir Major in the building. What's up, brother?
Tariq, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. What's going on?
Oh man, I want to say that we've been calling this out. The FBA family were the first people to start calling Luke out and hold him accountable about a year and a half ago,
Mm,
calling him out and exposing him for being a Democratic shield. But most importantly, I think you're absolutely categorically right. I believe that when you declared that you want to sit down with both campaigns, that they said it's time to step this up. We got less than 60 days left. It's time to go after Tariq and any other black male influencer who has the ability to galvanize people and to make people to be critical thinkers.
yes.
I think you're spot on with that. And also, notice how Luke Campbell and known Tether um, try to commingle your name and propagate a fake beef, if you will, between you and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan
Right.
to suggest that you took issue with him and that you were somehow condoning or calling him a tether.
Right.
I'm glad that in the exemplary behavior of the NOI and the FOI brothers for maintaining composure and not running with rumors. We saw dear brother Riza Islam go into the space, and on several occasions he was kicked off the stage, thrown off the stage, and disrespected and humiliated. Um, you know, I double down on what you're saying. We need to stay out of his spaces, and I agree with you.
Yes, indeed, my man. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, that was very disrespectful to Riza. What Luke did is extremely disrespectful to Minister Farrakhan, using Minister Farrakhan's name to lie. And again, Luke don't really you can't really say nothing about me. That's why they got to start lying and just making up stuff. But just bringing the minister's name in his lie, that's low. And I know that tethers do that. Tethers don't really have real arguments. They really don't know how to roast that good. So what they do, they go back to what they know, lying. Tethers lie like they breathe. It's nothing. That's why, when they call up here, they always lying. I'm not talking about all foreigners. I'm talking about that tether class, that little scammy, lying tether class. You dig? And that's why we delineate, man. We don't want to be around that. We don't want to be around lying, scamming tethers, just saying a bunch of gibberish and nonsense. We don't want to be around that. And that's okay. When people talk about we're divisive, yeah, we want to divide ourselves from lying, scamming tethers. You damn sure right. I want to divide from that. I'm very divisive against lying tethers. I'm tired of people getting their little riffraffs, bringing them here, and then lumping them in with us. I don't want to be lumped in with no riffraffs. I'm tired of that. Those days are over. And that's why when we talk about cleaning up the community, part of that is finding out who's really from the community. That's 50% of the problem right there. Who the hell are these people out here doing all this weird stuff? Once we start identifying who the weirdos are, then we can start cleaning certain things up. You see? Jeff, hop in, man.
Hey, Tariq, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good, Jeff. How are you, sir?
I am great. I just wanted to put something on your radar. I don't mean to change the subject because it does sound like you're cooking,
Go ahead.
but college football season's coming up, and your boy Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, their opening game is this Thursday against North Dakota State. Tim Pulisic, the Great White Hope, is the coach of North Dakota State.
Uh-oh.
That game is 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific, and I would love it if we could have a Tariq live stream or live tweet of the game like we had last year, because those are some great games with you giving your reactions and great afterwards spaces. So I just wanted to put that on your radar.
All right. Well, I'll look into that. I might be out of town then, but I'll look into it. Let's get IGZ in the building.
What's going on, Tariq? IGZ clothing, bro.
There
Only
you go.
FBA clothing line right here, baby.
My man. Go ahead.
Hey, check this out, man. That song you put out, I was playing that all day, bro, until I got to work. And I'm like, you know what? I had a whole bunch of Mexicans and Africans at my job because I work in the medical field. So I
Yeah.
was playing that all day in the ER, and everybody was feeling it.
Yeah,
they,
everybody liked it. So I told people they were talking about it on social media, on Instagram. People love that song, that "Grinding for a Green Card." People
yeah,
love that
yo,
stuff.
bro, everybody was feeling it. But they was like, who are all these people in the, like, some people, they would ask me, because my friends, they'd be like, yo, who are all these people in the videos? Oh, I was like, oh, that's Marlon, that's Roly Poly Martin.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And Myron is upset. Yeah, Myron got real upset. He cussed us all out because I posted the video on Twitter, and he said, "You FBAs are criminals and low IQ." He's pissed. But thank you,
bro,
IG. But
bro, I
yeah,
want to know when that album comes out.
it's coming out on the 13th, September 13th. The album "Grinding for a Green Card." But what did Myron say? Boy, Myron was pissed. He cursed all y'all out. He cursed me out, everybody out. Well, let me read Myron's tweet because he tweeted right under the video. Hold on one second. Let me because we had Myron on an inner tube and a camel in the video. They hate being reminded of their homeland. They hate that. And Myron stay running over here talking about crime in Chicago. So here it is. So yeah, he's like, oh yeah, this you, bro. All you FBAs are frauds, scammers, even murderers. Thanks for keeping the stereotype alive that you stupid Black Americans are criminals. So tethers like me and others can come from Africa and the Caribbean. We can help elevate the reputations of blacks in America that that idiots like you and Sir Major have destroyed with your criminal activity. So he threw Sir Major under the bus too. Oh, please. These folks come from criminal ridden homelands and then come over here trying to wag their finger about some criminality. There's a reason why you had to hop on that inner tube to get the hell on from your homeland, dude. Yeah, man, I told y'all for years we should have been checking them tethers. Because I've been hollering at the Dinesh D'Souza's and all them people for years who come over here from these little failed shanty town, criminal, crime ridden homelands, and then they come pointing their finger talking about Chicago. And please, you are not at liberty to say anything about no crime over here. We ain't like your homeland. Stasia, what's up, Stasia?
Hi, Tariq.
How are you, dear?
I'm doing pretty good. First, I just want to say I have been a fan of yours for a very long time.
Mm,
My mom put me on to your Hidden Colors film many years ago, and I've also got my father and my brothers listening to you. And I just want to say that you do phenomenal work, and it's sad that the Democrats send people like uh, Uncle Luke and uh, these irrelevant people
yeah, yeah,
into your spaces. And even just listening to Riza Islam earlier, he was literally attacked for speaking clearly and eloquently.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Not cool. Not cool at all.
No, no, not cool at all. But I just want to say, just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm very, very glad to finally be able to speak to you.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling, beloved. Thank you so much. But yeah, yeah, like I said, man, the Democrats, because I put out an offer. I put out an offer. The Democrats and Republicans, Kamala, Trump, come sit down and holler at me. Let's talk. Instead of sending all your shills over here, let's sit down and talk about them policies. Because they know that Kamala Harris, the honeymoon stage is over. All that partying and twerking, okay, that's dying down. Now people want to get to the nitty gritty about them policies and what's going to be done out here. They want to hear Kamala articulate some things, and Kamala is not a good speaker, and she's definitely not good on the fly. She can't really defend herself that good. That's why they're not letting her talk that much. That's why at the DNC they had all these other people talking and bigging her up, and then they were rapping and twerking and beatboxing and all of this nonsense. All of this stuff to keep her from talking. Y'all can't keep doing that. Y'all not going to be able to do that until November. And then when you have people like me saying, hey, somebody needs to sit down and let's talk these policies. And we got other people from the other side are kind of reaching out and we're corresponding with them. If we start sitting down with other folks out here and Kamala don't sit down and say nothing and talk, then that's going to be a bad look because this election can go either way. This election is a toss up. So the black vote, that's the swing vote right there, man. There's a reason why they're trying to pander to us, but they're not giving anything. See, that's the thing. It's a lot of pandering to us, but they're not giving anything. And they got Plies out here who's clearly somebody put some in his pocket. All of them running around talking about this black thing, the black woman and the black man. We got to support the black woman, Kamala. I just saw something with Steve Harvey at some live event where he was on stage talking all of that. We got to look out for the black woman and black folks, and we got to look out for one another and each other. Kamala Harris ain't no one another and each other. She ain't from our lineage. I don't have to do a damn thing for no Kamala Harris. She's not from our lineage. She comes from a foreign lineage that's hostile to foundational black Americans. The lineage she's from is actually hostile to us. Both sides, by the way, the Jamaican and the Indian side. Shit, if we're going to be real, many of the Jamaican Tethers and her dad, we don't know if he's Indo-Jamaican. We don't know what type of Jamaican he is, but he looks like he comes from the hostile FBA hating side. We don't owe them no camaraderie, man. We just don't. And that's the really real. Let's get DeGrio, then we get Lou in here. DeGrio, what's happening?
What's going on, Flex? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How are you, sir?
Good, 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 man. I met you last year at the Human History Museum at the Juneteenth celebration. But
Cool.
um, going back to what you were talking about the hostility of the Tether class, when I heard that Luke interview, with as soon as he said, his wife is white, I couldn't even listen to no more of it.
Right, right.
Because they take on a lot of opinions and point of views of the white supremacists. So, that's number one. And the last thing is that when you have tethers calling up going, what's your FBA? At this point, they know what it is.
They know
That
exactly what it is. Yeah, they do.
exactly. That's a passive aggressive way to try to poke holes in it. So yeah. But love what you do, Flex, and keep pushing, man.
Thank you so
I'm done
much.
now.
Yeah, when the tethers always call up with their bad faith arguments. Hey, niggas. Hello, I'm from Ghana. I just want to know, what is FBA? What does it mean? When they say that, you just let them keep talking, then all of a sudden, you'll see that they know exactly what it is, and then they get real hostile. You know what FBA means. You know exactly what it means. So when they call up here being passive aggressive, when you say, hey, look, foundational black American, you know what it is, foundational black American, that means non-immigrants. So, okay. So my second question is, why do you niggas hate us so much? You niggas call me a teta. You call me teta. Why am I a teta? Shut up. Thought you didn't know what it meant. You know what tether means. You know all this other stuff. And then they start crying. We're all the same, nigga. It's divisive and xenophobic. The same boat that dropped me off is the same boat that dropped you off. Shut up, nigga. The hell up. Lou, what's up, Lou?
Tariq, what's up, man?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Hey, I got a question. So, do you feel like you getting the same treatment? Because remember when Ice Cube presented that platinum plan to try to both parties, and then like the Democratic Black Shields started to call him a, and then
Yeah,
like people started.
they attacked Ice Cube.
So,
Yeah.
do you feel like you're getting the same treatment right now?
Oh, worse, way worse. Because with me, they know that I'm very, very influential. They know that Ice Cube is influential to a certain degree, but I'm talking about influential as in galvanizing people on the grassroots, not just with music. Just hey, let's all show up somewhere and stand on some type of business. When you can do that, you become a major threat. You understand? When you are able to do that, you become a major, major threat. And let me give you an example. Thanks for calling, brother. They don't. Aisha, I'm gonna get you into sexist. Um, Aisha, can you mute your mic, dear? Oh, let me just talk to you while, and I'm gonna get my thought back in a minute. Aisha, what's up? Because your mic is loud. Hello, hello, Aisha. You did all that loud ass noise, and you ain't got nothing to say now. And where are you? Are you on a nature hike in the wilderness? What's all those birds and shit in the background? Where are you at, Aisha? All right, she bounced. But when you are the kind of person who can galvanize large crowds of people for something constructive, the dominant society and the powers that be, they look at that as a major threat. They look at that as a threat. I'll give you an example. Like James Brown. James Brown, when Dr. King got assassinated, they needed James Brown. He had a concert in Boston. So the mayor of Boston talked to James Brown and wanted him to kind of calm everybody down. They wanted everybody to go to the James Brown concert, to be off the streets and not turn up and not snipe white supremacists. So they really promoted that concert and they wanted everybody to go to that concert. And it did calm the riots down in Boston. It actually calmed everything down. James Brown calmed the city down. They were like, James, we need you to get out there and talk to the Negroes, make sure that they're cool, make sure they don't turn up on us. And James Brown did. He stopped the riot, basically. And y'all look this up. It's a very infamous story. Now, the FBI and those people, they look at that as a threat because their ideology is if you can stop a riot, you can start one. And kind of right after that, after the 1960s, um, they were monitoring James. James was on the list. They were monitoring James Brown's activities. And when James Brown stood next to Richard Nixon, they used that as an opportunity to get a lot of people in the black community to turn on him. I think there was a lot of propaganda, probably fueled by the FBI, because saying that James is a sellout and all of this stuff. You got to watch that when a black person is being demonized, especially in certain parts of the media. You got to see where that's coming from. A lot of times that's coming from some of these alphabet organizations. So a lot of folks don't know. Early 70s, James Brown was really being demonized. They were calling him a sellout because he had supported Nixon. And a lot of people, a lot of radio stations stopped playing James Brown's records. A lot of his records kind of went underground to a certain degree, and that's what the appeal for the hip hop crowd was. You had these records that weren't getting played on the radio. They were rare, but they were funky. So the people who started hip hop started getting those James Brown records, playing them at parties and jams. So that kind of kept James Brown alive. The formation of hip hop literally saved James Brown's career because the mainstream, they weren't really rocking with him as much as they were in the 60s. A lot of folks don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. But my point is, when people in the dominant society see that somebody can stop a riot, where somebody can go out and say, hey, let's everybody calm down and let's everybody have level heads. And if they can get a bunch of people to calm down, or if they can get a bunch of people galvanized to speak about something constructive, if you can have thousands of people show up for a reparations rally, they look at that. They're like, wait, if this person can make all those people come out for something constructive, they can turn around and make people come out for something negative. So we got to discredit this person by all means. Yeah. That's why whenever I start doing certain things, there's always been a major disinformation, discrediting campaign. take a good look at people. When you see people who are constantly trying to discredit me just out the blue, those are usually alphabet people. Those are people sent in by the alphabet people. Y'all, we really better understand the Cointelpro program. We really got to understand that in the 60s, the Cointelpro program was deep. They had Cointelpro agents and provocateurs all over the black community, in churches and universities, at your job, postal workers. They had a lot of them who were informants because, you know, they were around the neighborhood. They had so many informants in black society in the 60s. Can y'all imagine now? Could you imagine? One day, I've been promising to do this, and one day on my live, when I do my YouTube channel, I'm going to read the Cointelpro papers. A lot of folks hear about it, but they've never actually read it just to see how deep it was. The Cointelpro papers was basically it was a group called the Weather Underground. They broke into a field office, I think in Pennsylvania, and they stole some documents from the FBI field office, and one of those documents was the Cointelpro papers. And then they sent that to the media, and that caused a major firestorm because in the FBI Cointelpro papers, it documented how J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI, their main objective was to stop leadership in the black community and to monitor the black community nonstop. It talked about in great detail how they would just have agent provocateurs in every sector of black society doing things to undermine movements. They would send agents to burn things down. They would send agents to infiltrate um, damn near every group that was formed in black society. They would send agents all up in churches. Um, the Cointelpro, they would create certain groups, especially Pan-African groups. That's another thing. The Cointelpro created, and the FBI and CIA, they were creating their own little Pan-African groups, talking real radical, but these people were funded by the CIA. That's why we got a lot of Pan-Africanists now who talk all that Pan-African stuff. Look at how they move. When we talk about delineating, they're the main ones trying to shoot it down. We talk about reparations, the Pan-Africanists are the main ones trying to shoot it down. You see? They understand the Pan-African thing. If people want to talk about going and building some empire in Africa, let them talk. That's not a threat. Notice they'll give you money to talk about that. They're like, oh, this nigga wants to talk about some Wakanda dream. Oh, let him go. Oh, he's not a threat whatsoever. That's one of our guys. Hell, we'll give him money for an African studies course. When you start talking about building a Wakanda, they have no problem with that because the white supremacists, they already know they got Africa toe down. They already got Africa locked up. They know you ain't gonna build nothing over there. So yeah, they'll let you talk about that all day. Now, when we talk about building here, because that's more feasible, when we talk about, hey, you know what? We're foundational Black Americans. We want to build right here. That's the threat. Notice how everybody has a hissy fit simply because we acknowledge our lineage and we ain't talking about Wakanda. We ain't hurt nobody. We talking about our own lineage, our own homeland, and just building things here. And everybody loses their mind because that's the real threat. You understand? Because that's where the real power is. The power is in acknowledging your direct lineage. By making you just one big Negro, that dilutes your power because you can be infiltrated by everybody. Everybody can come and just infiltrate you. Being inclusive with everybody, that's not a strength. You understand? Power is when you can say, hey man, you can't really come over here right now. Just go back to the mafia. I always make this analogy. The mafia was powerful because they had levels to the game, and certain people could not get to certain levels. You couldn't be a made man. That's the top tier level of the mafia. You couldn't be a made man unless you had both parents who were directly from Italy. You had to trace your parents back to the homeland, or your relatives back to the homeland, on both sides. You couldn't be a made man because they understood cultural cohesion, and you needed trust, and you couldn't have people who had dual allegiances. That's why in the movie Goodfellas, the Henry Hill guy, he was half Italian but half Irish, and he talked about how he couldn't be made. They couldn't make him a made man, and rightfully so, because he was the one, when he got pinched, he snitched on everybody. You see? And then they had to put him in witness protection. So the same thing with lineages. When people have dual allegiances or just an allegiance to some other nation, the trust factor isn't going to be there. Just like with Kamala. Let's look at Kamala. Perfect example. Kamala cosplays as a black person and a foundational black American person. Is Kamala to be trusted? Let's be real. Well, all the fake Kamala shills, and whenever people sit up here and just go hard in the paint for Kamala, you are 100% on somebody's payroll. Nobody genuinely can sit up here and say that Kamala has done something worthy of any type of praise. Let's talk real. That's why all of the Kamala butt lickers, when they try to big up Kamala, it's all about shaming us on our ancestry and lineage. They always bring up the black thing because you can't bring up any policies that this woman has that's commendable or something that should be upheld. She ain't got them. You can't big up her personality. She doesn't have a personality like that. There's nothing about her that you can really big up. There's nothing about Kamala Harris that justifies anybody going hard in the paint for her and her policies. Nothing. It's all a bunch of symbolic gibberish and talking points sent down from the DNC. That's why nobody can give a real, honest, good faith assessment of why any of us should support Kamala Harris, other than Trump and them gonna bring Project 2025. We got to do something now. Trump is horrible. We got to support Kamala Harris. We is all black. We got to support Kamala Harris because we black. You see? And I'm saying hell no. That's all cap. Let's get Burke Griffin. Let's get Burke in the building. Burke, and then we'll get Avian, I think that's his name. And then we'll get let me see. Well, let's get Burke. Burke, you in here? Burke Griffin. Burke Griffin. You want to unmute your microphone? Or did you ask to get on by mistake? You must have did it by mistake. Avion? Hop on, Avion.
Hey, baby, I just wanted to say, you
Hold
know
on.
me.
Hold on. Hold on. You say baby?
I called you baby.
Okay.
Where I come from,
This is
where I
not.
come from,
No,
that's
no,
okay.
no, dude. I don't know where you're from. You're from Bussy Land, and we don't do that over here. Dudes don't call up talking about some hey baby to some dude. All right, where you from, by the way, real quick? I don't like that. Where you from, man? Avion, where you from? Avion, unmute your microphone.
Sorry, bro. Uh, Thank you.
Where you
I'm
from?
from Australia.
Okay, well, y'all know better than that.
Yeah, I
Call,
do.
hey, don't call
Yeah.
no grown ass nigga baby. What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, apologies.
All right, what's on your mind, man? Because you done rubbed me the wrong way. What's on your mind?
Okay, you know what? I've been following you for a very long time. I've been following other people as well for ages. This is the first time that actually spoken here in you when you have lead it, and I agree everything that you said. Every time I've come into this, because no one knows where we actually come from, and that's not what I want to say. We
Okay,
all
I don't
no,
know what
no,
you're
no.
talking about. Get your ass out of here, man, and go find you a warm dude. You just trying to talk to a man tonight, man. I don't know what you talking about. You ain't saying nothing. You weird, bro. Burke, hop on, man. Goddamn weirdo. Burke, what's up, man? Okay, Burke, you ain't saying nothing, dude. And the moist Australian dude. Okay. Let me get the Abyss in here. All right, Burke, I'm gonna just get you out the paint, man. I don't know what you're trying to do.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tariq Nasheed. I'm out here at the Hidden History Museum here in Los Angeles, and I want to invite you to the September Soul Saturday event that we're having here at the Hidden History Museum. We're going to have a lot of phenomenal comedians. We're going to have complimentary food, complimentary drinks, great music, great mingling, great networking. So I want to see you here. Join me here, 2131 West Jefferson Boulevard in Los Angeles, September 14th, 2024, 7 p.m. Come on and vibe out. For more information and to get your tickets, go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. We'll see you here.